Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to a brand new F125 League Racing video. This is round number 6 of the Ironman League around Miami, if my mind serves me correctly. My mind actually does serve me correctly, because as you can see there, standings after round 5, we're in P5 of the championship, 26 points behind the leader Leo Land. And for this round there's actually some changes to the race. There's going to be no more wet, and that is simply due to the fact that overtaking in the wet is impossible unless a driver makes a mistake, and driving in the wet is not that hard on F125 due to the huge slip angle you can get away with. And another change that's been made is that the grids are now based on the reverse driver standings rather than the reverse constructor standings. And there's no separation between esports drivers and non-esports drivers anymore. So if you're P1 in the championship, you are starting last, no matter who you are. As that start of the race was a little bit chaotic. There was a car upside down. One of the Mercs was upside down in turn number 3 actually. So we've gained 3 positions on the start straight away, starting in P16, which is very lovely. But yeah, as you can see, straight away VSC deployed. And yeah, that's kind of resets the order a little bit again. Less chaos.
VSC in Sector 1 is diabolical, by the way.
But yeah, up to P13. Actually, quite a good start again. Last time out in Hungary with a good start as well. Good opening lap. And now a good opening lap again. We struggled a little bit in the first 4 rounds. But yeah, anyway, let's hope these changes to the championship will make them a little bit more interesting, because if you've been watching the live stream, the races thus far have been very, very boring. And yeah, whether you think it's realistic or not, it doesn't matter, because league racing is supposed to be interesting. So yeah, let's hope that it promotes overtaking a little bit. And I think it will, simply due to the more variation in strategies. You know, it will still be very hard to overtake people in the first stint, but that's how it's always been. You know, first stint has always been hard to overtake. You need a tire advantage a little bit to overtake, and that is normal. And sometimes the tire advantage even then doesn't help you overtake. But you know, with the wet races, it was just terrible, because you never had a tire advantage because everyone was in the same strategy most of the time. So yeah, lap 2, you can see I was trying to get past Luca Rupassa, our teammate there, but he decided, you know, I don't want to get past, I'm going to go on the attack. Didn't work, unfortunately, and he dropped down to P13, so we gained a position, and now we got Ismail Fassi ahead of us, who is on the hards, and I'm trying to take advantage of that. I'm trying to get past him before his hards become better. I went for the harder tire allocation, so we got 2 sets of hards and 1 set of mediums. I felt like the hards were going to be the better race tires, so I decided to start on the mediums, and we've got the better race tire for later on, and now we make the move on Ismail Fassi for P11. And then we're going to try and get past Nicolas Longuet, which is not going to be easy, of course, because he is on the same tires. For now, I just need to recharge the battery a little bit. Up to lap 9, you can see Nicolas Longuet has gotten past Duncan Hofland. And we're going to try and do the same here. Duncan has been fighting quite hard, so he is low on the battery. And that should help us a little bit. I've not been pushing too hard these past few laps, because in my mind I was already aiming for a 1-stop here. So we're going to have to go quite long in this first stint, and that's why I didn't push too hard to try and get past Nicolas here. Into the next left, and then we go, and yeah, we get boxed in here, and yeah, that looked pretty intentional. I'm not sure if these two are going to be future teammates or something, but yeah, not sure. Doesn't matter anyway, because we have so much more battery that, you know, you can see that straight away Duncan starts flashing again, and he would have not turned his ERS off that early, and that means he's below 10%, And we are at the end of the straight, still on 30. Straight away going the attack in the hairpin. Trying to get P9. As there's a bit of a train forming here behind Andre Molnar. I'm trying to get the move on straight away into turn 1. Can't. And we're going to just tuck in back behind Nikos Longe. We goes on the attack into turn number 1. Trying to get past Lari. And yeah, this is a tricky corner to go side by side. So I line up the exit in the hope these two would clash. But they didn't. And I did not want to make it 3 wide into this fast section because even 2 wide. It's quite hard, as you can see right there.
Tried so hard to avoid it, and he just goes
into the next left-hander we go, and we get a tap on our side pod, which sends us wide, which is not so lovely. Now we're gonna try and stay ahead on this next DRS straight. We do not have slipstream, unfortunately, from Nicolas, so we're gonna have to do it purely on straight line speed. We're gonna go down the inside in the next left-hander, and we're gonna return the favor here. Unfortunately, we can't get the move done. There's more contact, which sends my car sliding a little bit. So down to P10 we go again. And yeah, we're just going to try and recharge our battery a little bit here because we are quite low, as you can see.
okay.
Yeah, I still want to kind of go for that long first stint on the mediums. As you can see, up to P9, and that's because quite a lot of people have boxed already, quite early on. People going for the undercut. As you can see in the bottom left, the Red Bull is the leader of the people who have already made a pit stop. That's going to be Luca Ripassa, as we went for a move on Riax Progis, but yeah, that ended up in us gaining 2 positions. Car ahead. Williams boxing for a new set of tires. There's also a lot of people boxing already. A lot of people going for 2 or 3 stop here. And we're just going to continue. We can always still switch to 2 stop if the 1 stop is really going to be that bad. As you can see, we're 3 seconds behind Otis, which yeah, increased to 6 seconds just within 3 laps. Yeah, the mediums just were not a good race tire, so perhaps I should have gone
It's like everyone is on a 2-stop.
into the box here. I decided to continue. Up to P2 we go. And yeah, Duncan behind us. And Nikos Longe still out on the mediums as well. So they are perhaps aiming for a 1-stop just like us. As Andre Molnar sets the fast lap of the race at 29.3. Ismail Fassi behind us in P4 on the hard challenge. I was kind of hoping he would get past us and then kind of carry us along a little bit in the next few laps. Because the hards by now are just faster, and you can see in lap 20, Ismail 3 tenths behind us, and we're just gonna let him go here. Turn the ERS off, let him go ahead, and then we're gonna DRS, and yeah, hope he can carry us along a little bit in the next few laps. We're gonna get DRS straight away on the next straight, which is nice. Yeah, you can just see in these tight mechanical corners, Ismail just has more grip. He's gaining quite a bit. Obviously, we have dirty air as well, so it's not a completely fair comparison. You can see the traction he gets on that corner. Unfortunately, he boxed at the end of lap 20 straight away after passing us. So yeah, that was not ideal. But we take the lead of the race in lap 21. And yeah, just 2 laps later, you can see Julian and Tom Roberts have overtaken us and pulled a 2-second gap. We just could not keep up with them. They had so much fresher tires. And now we've got Jake Benham and Otis Lawrence behind us, who boxed not too long ago. And they already made up a pit stop, so the 2-stop, it looks like, is the better strategy at this point. But I felt like perhaps it was too late to uncommit to the 1-stop. So I just decided to stay out, you know. And yeah, commit to the 1-stop. Into the next left-hander we go, and yeah, this was a rather
okay,
interesting move again. As Nikos Longe has retired from the race there.
Got a full course caution, the safety car's out. Keep an eye on the delta, we need to keep it positive to avoid a penalty. Slow down, maintain positive delta.
And yeah,
you know,
as you can see there, safety car. And Ismail Fassi has left the session. Now, you might be wondering why he left the session, and that's because he was suddenly the leader of the race. The safety car bugged, put Ismail a lap ahead of everyone, gave me a safety car delta. So as you can see, I'm now 20 seconds behind Jake and Tom Roberts. And yeah, if I go too fast, I can't catch up because I will get a drive-through penalty. So the safety car is completely bugged. As you can see there, Ismail's trying to rejoin. And you can see Ismail there in the top left.
Nice.
P1 by 1 lap. Yeah, it's completely broken. And now suddenly we are going to get an illegal overtake as well on a car that's not on track anymore. And yeah, as you can see there, Leo Lund driving us into the wall just to tell us that we're restarting this race. And yeah, because we were P3 in the last completed lap, that means that we're going to be starting P3. It's going to be a 50% race rather than restarting to complete 100. Unfortunately, we cannot just restart where we left, basically. That's just not possible in the F1 games. I think in CS they've got something like that. Even in League of Legends. But yeah, we just don't. So yeah, this is actually good for us because we can start P3 now, or restart P3. And yeah, 50% race. So a little bit less time to make moves. So that's rather unfortunate if you were at the back on fresh tires, you know, or just had made a pit stop. Not really fair, obviously, for those people. But yeah, it's once that safety car bugged the entire race, I guess there was just no other option left. So yeah, P3 it is. Opening lap, just not really doing too much anyway. We're just straight away gonna start saving our tires a little bit. We're not in a rush anyway because we're P3. And yeah, I don't want to pick up any corner cut warnings as well because we don't really have much to gain at the moment. We're just gonna play relax in the first few laps. We got Tom Roberts and Julian Klaffenbach up ahead, and into the heavy braking zone we go. You can see Tom Roberts has locked up, nearly drove into the back of Julian Klaffenbach there, and that gives us the position up to P2 we go. And this is the position you want to be in, either P1 or P2, going into the last lap. So quite happy with this one. We just have to be careful of the cars behind. They're fighting, trying to get P3. And yeah, as you can see behind, they're going a little bit argy-bargy through turn number 2 and 3. And it's still going side by side into the fast chicane, actually. So yeah, these guys are going at it behind us. Into the next left-hander, we're only just about doing a DRS. We obviously were quite far behind if Tom Roberts locked up. And you see more crashing going on, more argy-bargy going on behind us. And yeah, we're now 1.4 seconds ahead of Otis, but yeah, both me and Julian were not pushing our tires too much. We're kind of chilling.
Okay, the safety car is out. Safety car is out. We need to form up at reduced pace. Keep a close eye on that delta time. Make sure to keep it positive.
And yeah, as you can see, lap 3, another safety car. Let's hope it doesn't bug the race this time. But yeah, the question is now, is it worth to make a pit stop? After only 2.5 laps of racing. Now you might be thinking, probably not, but Istvan Pukki in P5 is going for it. Boxing at the end of lap 3. 2 people boxed actually there in the top 10. So they obviously lost quite a few positions, but they do have a fresh set of tires. Unfortunately, we didn't get quite a great restart here at the end of lap 6. Into turn number 1, we're gonna have to go a little bit defensive. We brake deep, however, managed to get the car slowed down in time, and we maintain P2 for now. And yeah, just same story all over. We're not really in a rush to get into P1, you know. We're just gonna chill a little bit in P2, make sure we don't get any track limit invalidations. That is important as well, of course, because you know those chicanes at the end of Sector 2 are really easy to get a track limit warning and 3-second penalty. If you get a 3-second penalty in this grid, you're basically dropping out of the points pretty much. With the increase in dirty air, it's a not as bad. You know, you might drop to P6 or P7, but if it is close, you might just be very unlucky and drop out of the points. As you can see there, end of lap 12, both Julian and Otis into the box. Some people box lap 11 even. Going for the undercut. We are doing kind of our classic strategy, going long in the first stint. And you can see there, Istvan Pukki only 2 seconds behind us, so his strategy has worked. He didn't gain that much though. As you can see, at the end of lap 15, he's 1.6 seconds behind us. So we only gained 4 tenths in those 3 laps. Into the box we go, to make sure not to speed. A few years back, the speed limiter, oh my god, I can't even speak anymore, was after the chicane. And it caught me out quite a few times on career mode.
But where we come out?
We have learned from that, and we did not speed. You can see on the left, there's actually quite a few people with a 10-second penalty. So, yeah, out we come in P11, right ahead of Duncan, which is unfortunate for him, because he definitely got slowed down a little bit by that. But at least we got fresh tires, so we can pull him along a little bit as well, you know. So it's in some way a little bit of a blessing for him. In some way it's probably annoying. He had to lift off quite a lot there. But we're gonna go straight in on the attack, because we got 3 lap fresher tires than the leaders. They boxed lap 12. Some people even ahead of us boxed lap 11, or maybe I think Brendan actually lap 10. So we got a huge tire advantage in the coming few laps. Now let's not forget, Istvan was only 1.6 seconds behind us, and he has extended for another lap. So have some other people, so we need to be careful of them. And yeah, we're straight away gonna get DRS here on this next raid, which is very nice. Big slipstream as well, as Brendan is weaving that he's not using our or not using his battery there, and that's just gonna be a free position there. He didn't get DRS as well, so yeah, I think in his mind it was, you know what, you go ahead, my race is pretty much over. Went aggressive on the undercut, and I think, yeah, just realized it didn't work. So up to P7 we go, and the only one still out on track is Istvan Pukki, as you can see there, in lap 18 here. So yeah, P7 it is. Recharge my battery again after overtaking Brendan, and now we can go in the attack. We are in a realistic P6, so we have to overtake 5 people here if we want to win this race. Leo Lund is up first, leader in the championship, so he's not going to make this easy for sure. DRS open, up to 343 kph, 45 into the braking zone. We're going to go around the outside, brake deep into the corner. We leave just about enough space on the inside. And up to P6 we go. And now we got our teammate Luca Ripassa ahead. I think also box lap 11. So again, 4 lap tire advantage. But this dirty air does not make it easy to pass nonetheless. Trying to get a good exit out of that heavy traction zone. And now we're gonna get this move done quite easily. I think Luca not fighting this too hard. You can see him flashing. I think not under 10% battery, just putting his recharge button on. Up to P5. 2 positions gained in 1 lap. And we still got 11 laps to go, but we have to be cautious as well. Our tires are gonna drop off eventually as well. And then suddenly it's gonna become a lot harder to overtake. So we need to get these moves done ASAP. If we want to win this race. Otis obviously boxed lap 12. I think Ismail boxed lap 11. So huge tire advantage. It's only 4 laps, 3-4 laps, but in a 50% race, the tire wear is twice as much as in a 100% race. So yeah, to put it into perspective, that's either a 6 lap or an 8 lap tire advantage. Now, remember when we did the 100% race, in 8 laps, Otis basically made up a pit stop advantage. Obviously, our tires were quite old and we were on the mediums, but nonetheless, the tire wear is quite high around here. We go down the inside of Otis for the right-hander, and we get up to P3. And now we got Ismail and Julian up ahead. And yeah, let's see what we can do. We're probably going to have to recharge our battery a little bit in the next lap or so, and then we can start attacking, because you can see both of them using a lot of battery there, actually. I think Ismail trying to get past Julian as he wants the lead of this race. Not sure why. Perhaps he felt like Dirty R was too bad and he just wanted to, you know, be P2 when I passed him. But at the same time I was thinking, oh, maybe we can go for a double move. So yeah, I wasn't sure. Anyway, still recharging our battery a little bit here in lap 20. Still only on 60-70% as we head into the fast chicanes. And again, probably not going to go for a move on this next straight. We're just going to save our battery for that long back straight, because we're still quite far behind, 5/10 as we head on to the next straight. So yeah, if we want to go for a move here, we would have to use a lot of our battery, and I think Ismail would turn on his battery eventually again anyway. So used a bit there just to make sure we were close. And then, you know, we're pretty much going to be sitting on 90% battery onto the long back straight. So let's see if we can go for a move into the hairpin. We're going to have to be close. As Ismail actually cutting a lot of the inside curve. I think that might have been a warning for him. So we're still 5/10 back, but Ismail is only 3/10 behind Julian. So again, turning on my battery because I felt like 5/10 behind was too much. But nonetheless, Ismail is going to go for it into the hairpin. They're going to go side by side. And as you can see there, a little bit of argy-bargy again. Julian struggling a little bit on the traction there. And now he does not have DRS, so I decided to use my battery in the exit. I saw Julian was using his battery as well, but these guys eventually are going to run out of battery if they keep going on like this. Whereas we're just saving. You know, we saved 20% over the last lap. Actually, slightly less than 20%, but we have closed in as well at the same time. So yeah, if these guys are spending 30-40% per lap, then they're not going to be able to keep this up for long. I was trying to get a good exit there. You can see we just washed out wide but understeer due to the dirty air. And now, let's see if we can go for a move again into the next left-hander. Draining the battery, which is not getting any closer. Just too far back again. Julian had a little look down the inside. I was having a little look down the outside. Setting up this wall section nicely. Trying to get some clean air on my front wing as well. And all this, while this is going on, Istvan and Jake are on a fresh set of tires as well. They're even fresher than ours. I slightly tapped Julian on the back there. So they are coming as well. And with all this battling going on, I think our pace is not too great. So we're going to have to get on with it. Otherwise, we might get passed by Jake or Istvan in the next few laps. Into the hairpin we go. Actually, I lost force feedback in the braking zone, which made me lose feel a little bit. Locked up, nearly drove into the back of Ismail. Luckily, we didn't. And now into turn one we go. It's 3 wide. Into turn 1, Julian has gone deep into the corner, and now it might become 3 wide again into this turn number 2 and 3 section. We get into P2, and now both me and Julian side by side into the fast section. And yeah, he decided to stay behind, and that is, I guess not, because he might have gotten double passed on the next DRS rate if he stayed ahead on those older tires, whereas we have the grip to pull a little bit of a gap and be safe of the people who got DRS behind us. So P1 it is, and as you can see there, Jake with 23 seconds of penalties in P4, and now Ismail and Julian sending it down my inside. I left enough space for one car, but it's probably not a smart idea to go 3 wide through this section. So into P1 we go, and I think with Ismail and Julian fighting for P2, that's what they want. That's where they want to be, just so they can save a bit of tires, save a bit of fuel. They have to recharge the battery as well, you know. But these guys are still going at it. Eventually, they, just dropped like a stone through the field because they had no battery. They were fighting each other so hard, lap after lap. And now you can see Istvan in P4 on a fresh set of mediums. Jake down my inside in turn number 1. He has 23 seconds of penalties, which I think are not going to be removed because the 20 seconds came from speeding in the pits. And the other 3 seconds is for track limit. So maybe the 3 seconds get removed. Maybe if there was some kind of incident on pit entry, a 10 second could be removed, but I doubt there was 2 incidents on pit entry. So yeah, even if we finish the race in P2, we're most likely gonna win after penalties. However, I decided, you know what, I want actually to be in the lead here going into the last lap. Because I felt like we could stay in the lead if we line up this final exit nicely. So yeah, each one in P4 doesn't really look like a threat in this last lap because we are sitting on 100% battery and he's 1.8 seconds behind, so he would need something magical if he wants to win this race. Our main threat is Jake for the on-track win, which we want as well, of course. And yeah, into the last lap, we just need to make sure that we play the ERS game and the DRS game smart. We need to save our battery for that last straight if we want to win this race on track. At the same time, you know, we got Otis in P3 and we didn't want to take too much risk for the on-track win. So yeah, if Jake would go for a massive dive bomb with that penalty, most likely we're not fighting it too hard. We're gonna play this smart, obviously. But nonetheless, we're still, you know, at least gonna somewhat try to win on track. And push the car to his limit in this last lap. Use our battery. Jake 6 tenths behind. Otis 1.6 behind. And it looks like Istvan is not actually gaining anymore. I think those mediums just fading at the very end here. So quite the big gaps in the field as well. Between all cars. So into the final sector we go then. We got Jake 4 tenths behind. Let's hope we can extend it a little bit actually in this tight section due to the dirty air. But you can see I got a little bit of a moment on the exit there. And the gap
closer than I thought.
The gap is only 4 tenths. So this is going to be tricky into the final corner. We're going to have to go defensive, that's for sure. But how defensive are we going to have to go into the final corner? We place the car in the middle. Jake goes down the inside, completely overshoots the corner.
I can't with you, man.
And up to P1 we go. We win the race on track and after penalties. Our first race win on
Oh my god.
F1 25 actually. Very lovely. Yeah, this kind of puts us
Please
back
tell me he streamed that.
in the championship fight as well. 2 races to go. Leo Lund got a penalty as well, a post-race penalty, which closes the gap even more. I think he only got a handful of points in the end, if any at all. So, yeah, huge for the championship. 2 races to go after this. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time. Ciao.